we must say a big hurrah because, Matt Damon, you're back at the helm of the Bourne franchise. Jason Bourne is back. And is that what you're filming at the moment?
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, we're shooting it right now. We're shooting it... I was being chased just last night, but I got away.
Phew. Because the one image they've released so far of the new Bourne film... Has it got a name, by the way, the new Bourne film?
I don't think it's got a name yet, but...
I know. Pop a man bun on that and the whole... We'd have to clean up in aisle 7. Hashtag Ladybug. Because how long is it since you did the last Bourne? It's 6, 7 years?
Yeah, more than that. It came out in 07, but we shot it in 06, so yeah, it's been 9 years.
Wow.
And in movie time, it's even more because the third one and the second one are supposed to dovetail, like the third acts take place at the same time. So technically, Jason Bourne hasn't been seen since 2004. And Jason Bond is fine, too.
Is that a plot spoiler?
Yeah.
Because because getting into that shape now, is it more challenging or is it the same?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be 45 in a couple weeks. It's
No!
Yeah, yeah.
Good that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Thank you for that. Yeah, no, it's much, much harder. I mean, the first Bourne movie I did 15 years ago, so I think I turned 30 on the first one, and I'm turning 45 on this one. So yeah, it's a whole different thing.
Wow. And do you find the choreographed fighting and stuff, do you find that easy?
No.
Okay.
No, they always put me with really good fighters, and that's the key, because it's more like dancing when you're doing that, because it's not, a real fight, people are trying to hit each other, and in these fights, you're trying to just miss each other. So you have to be completely in sync and moving exactly the right way, or the whole, if one of you messes up, it doesn't work. So it's much more like a dance. So I'm always going to be the weakest dancing partner of the two, right? Because these guys are all professional fighters. So they really, like a great dancer, they can elevate their partner, so.
I love the fighting in Bourne, because Jason Bourne, he's a brilliant improviser with weapons. So somebody's coming at him with a machine gun, and he'll get a ballpoint pen, wrap it round a magazine, phone directory, hole punch. Stapler. No, get up! It's basically, stationary fighting.
Step away from the desk.
Step away from the desk. He's got a bendy ruler.
It would be a great way to stage a scene in a stationery store.
Yeah.
Aisle to aisle.
Poking a blue tack in your eye.
A ring binder.
Oh, a ring binder. Oh, no. On the nipple.
Often you talk to actors who've been in a huge, big science fiction thing, and they talk about how boring it was, green screen, and but Christopher Nolan, it sounds like he made this quite real.
Yeah, no green screen.
No green screen.
At all.
There's zero gravity in it. So what is, because some movies, they do it in different ways. So how do they achieve it on this?
There's a few different ways. I mean, sometimes we were on a wire 80 feet in the air. Other times you were on the end of a gimbal like a seesaw. And other times I know you. Do you show your one-leg move?
Yeah. Sometimes it was very high-tech. I would stand on one leg and sort of float around.
I hear you're very good at it. Can you show us?
Are you sure? I mean, it's very difficult.
Yeah, no, let's see it. We'll put some music on. Put some music on.
Make some room.
All right.
Oh, here she goes.
Wow.
See, that's very good.
He does that for 2.5 hours.
Wow.
You don't really need to see it now.
That's the gist of the film.
Yeah, we sort of spoiled it.
Yeah, actually a very dramatic moment between me and Matthew. I was like a clutch emotional moment between us. I'm standing on one leg, just sort of like pretending like my head's hitting the ceiling.
Wow.
Oh, that sounded really rude.
Samuel L. Jackson, you've had some very famous fans. I'm thinking about the person, was it a Michael Jackson tribute or a concert?
Yeah, Michael Jackson was doing, I don't know what he was doing. But he was having a series of concerts in New York. And I was there one night to introduce Whitney Houston and Usher. And I was standing backstage waiting to introduce them. And somebody walked up behind me and started reciting the Ezekiel speech, which happens a lot, you know. And I was like, oh, who is this? I turn around, and it's Marlon Brando. I'm like, oh, wow. I let him finish, and I'm like, oh my God, Marlon Brando, you're reciting a speech from mine from a movie? I love that movie. That's like awesome. So he's like, we need to talk, and he gives me his phone number, and naturally, when I get back home, I call him. And when I call the number, it's a Chinese restaurant. And I go, is Mr. Brando having dinner there? And they go, hold on. And sure enough, he comes on the phone. And, you know, every time I call that number, it was either a Chinese restaurant or a Chinese laundry. But whoever answered the phone, that's how they answered the phone for him. And you had to ask for him specifically to get him.
You are fabulous as Loki. Absolutely brilliant. But
Yes.
apparently you originally auditioned, and no offence is meant by my incredulity here.
That's right.
But you originally auditioned for Thor.
Yep.
And did you encourage him to do that, Ken?
It was a very sort of brilliant kind of pitch for the part. I mean, he'd come in and wowed the room as Loki and as Thor. We were an emerging and evolving script, so it was always changing. But fair play to Tom, he just went for it.
In the end, Ken, why did you go with this then? In the end, was it the longer hair? Was it?
I think it was the hair. I think it was really the...
That's my brother from another mother.
Yeah, you know, Thor.
Yeah.
Oh, Thor.
Chris Hemsworth is made out of genetically modified material. He wouldn't mind my saying that. He's a sort of genetic anomaly, I think.
I was a bit embarrassed when we came to do the scene in the movie where he takes his shirt off. I just felt a little uncomfortable talking about the sort of how we would do it, and I felt as though, well, maybe he'll feel that he shouldn't or couldn't, or it's a bit whatever. So I remember going to see him that morning, saying, look, you know, I think it might be good if you get your shirt off, but you may be feeling. He said, of course I'm going to get my bloody shirt off, mate. I've been training for 9 months for this.
Jane, your partner, you've written together for years.
Well, Jane is really the writer. I'm not much of a writer.
Is she a bit miffed that you've now wandered off and made a film with somebody else?
No, she's quite pleased. She's quite pleased because it's pretty successful.
But working with people you're close to, like Chris, you and Liam, are you finally going to be in a film together? Your brother, Liam, obviously.
Well, I don't know. We're looking. It'd be nice if the right thing came along, sure.
Oh, so I read that you'd found something. You haven't found something.
No. Wow. What have we found? Ron? No.
It's an abortion road movie. It's two brothers. Who's the father? And now, was he also up for Thor?
He was, yeah. I auditioned and then didn't get the part, and then they auditioned him, and he basically got down to the last, like, 4 people, and then didn't get it. And then I came back in and...
And how was that at home? That's like real sibling rivalry.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah. Was it all right? It must have been a bit weird, a bit orcs.
We still don't talk that much. But we never did. No, it was fine.
Yeah, I don't know whether he's bitter or not, but he did post this picture of his... This is real. Oh. This is his dog with a chew toy, which looks familiar.
Oh. Yeah. And the arm is chewed off. Look at that.
Yeah. That hammer was delicious.
It was.
Because, Ron Howard, you work with your family, like, all the time.
Whenever I can. My brother Clint's an actor. My father Rance is still acting in his 80s and working all the time. I love to work with him.
And your mom, sadly, is no longer with us, but she did get a part in, was it Apollo 13?
Apollo 13, she had a really nice role, which almost didn't happen because I got this call from my dad, and he said, you know, I just read the rewrite on Apollo 13, And I said, yeah. And he said, there's a new part in there. I said, yeah, there is. Jim Lovell's mother. I said, yeah, she's got a nice scene. I said, yeah, you know who'd be really good for that? Who do you think, Dad? Your mom. And boy, I don't know. I'd have to audition her. and he said, well, fine. And so and my mom was all for that. And she said, I don't want to do it if Ronnie doesn't think I can do it. So I went over to their house and we worked through the scene, and she was great. And we did it in a couple of takes, and I've never been prouder, and she even got written up in the New York Times Review, and it was wound up being a great moment. She played Jim Lovell's mother.
It would have been worse if you hadn't given her the part after the audition. Yeah, this isn't going to work out.
I'll tell you what's really bad. My dad's an actor. I cast him whenever it's appropriate, you know. And here's the call I've had to make to him. Hey, Dad, you know, you did great, but, you know, the movie was a little long. And next would be, am I in it at all? Maybe in the extended DVD cut. So that's a tough call. But he's an old war horse. He understands.
Julianne Moore, Oscar winner. I think I mentioned it earlier. That was your first job.
Yeah, As the World Turns, he was called. Mm-hmm.
How many years were you in that now?
3. It was my first big job. There's my family, my soap family. Me and my mom and dad and my grandparents and my brother and my little brother and my sister-in-law.
And for 3 years, like, a lot of things happened to you.
Sure. I was kidnapped. I didn't go blind.
Did you not?
I did have amnesia. It turned out that my boyfriend was a killer. And he also slept with my my half-sister / cousin because it was dark and he couldn't tell us apart.
Could happen to anyone.
I was like, oh, you couldn't tell us apart. Oh, okay.
Did you forgive him?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But then he turned out to be a killer, so it was a mess.
Bad news bears. Yeah. And Rebel, lots of Australians who make it big in Hollywood have come through the Australian soaps.
Yeah, the soaps like Home and Away and Neighbours. Not me.
Did you audition for them or anything?
I didn't even get a chance to audition. My very first agent meeting, I got rejected because they looked me up and down and said, yeah, you're not ever going to be on Home and Away, so we're not going to take you.
Is that the only job in Australia?
Yeah.
But now, you tweeted this picture recently of yourself when you were starting out. Is this like a headshot you would use for auditions?
This is my first acting headshot.
Now, there are a lot of questions.
Okay, why am I holding a softball mitt and a softball, just in case you didn't get that I was sporty?
You can play athletes, is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I guess. And then I'm wearing, like, the world's finest gold chain. And then...
Because you're feminine as well.
Yeah. And an oversized T-shirt. I've just let my hair go feral, you know. Obviously, had not met up with a professional stylist at that point in my career. And then I just like the random graffiti, because I did come from, like, kind of the ghetto area of Sydney. So most people just have, like, a plain background.
But you...
graffiti? Yeah, she's a rebel, like, But no wonder nobody thought I would be a professional actress with that headshot. Like, you can't stage something better.
No. You look like you were in a great mood and then you saw something truly awful. There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
So if you stay in that Judi Dench makeup all day, you obviously don't mind the prosthetics and the costumes, because, Rafe, you hate prosthetics and things, don't you?
I don't love them, no.
But don't you choose jobs to avoid them?
After Voldemort, I did. I have, yeah.
Because how much of that is prosthetics on Voldemort?
Actually, to be honest, on Voldemort, not so much. A lot of painting and...
Oy, oy, oy.
Very little, actually.
Teeth, the eyes...
It's more or less. I see what you mean,
Latex around the eyes.
They shave the beard off, right?
That's a good look.
But wasn't there a moment when you kind of knew the Voldemort look was working, when you were on set? And you met her?
Yeah, I passed by the script supervisor, had a little boy who was on set.
His son, maybe?
Her son, I think, for 5 years old. Anyway, I passed by this little child. I just looked at this boy. He just burst into tears.
The costume must have helped as well, because it's quite frightening.
The costumes actually wasn't that. It was just a lot of flowing, silky stuff that I kept tripping over. And I had these tights on underneath. And they were like ladies' tights.
And they ripped in the middle.
Can I just say?
Chef came out.
No, they didn't rip.
I like that they were like ladies' tights. Are there other sorts of tights?
Well, they're not the sort of tights you wear at the RSC.
Oh, OK. But you did have a problem
No, what
with
happened was that the tights used to work their way down, so the gusset of the tight was sort of around my knees. So I couldn't walk as elegantly as I would like as Voldemort. So eventually then I said to the dresser, he's called Neil, he's very sweet. He always had his head up my skirt, trying to adjust things. And I said, would he mind cutting them off so I had a garter belt? So for most of Harry Potter, underneath the robes, I have very nice garter belts.
You spoilt it for everyone now. Sorry, I should have alerted you. Depressing news, everyone. 20 years since 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Crikey.
Now, I'd always assumed that was written for you.
No, I had to audition, and in fact, I was very much unwanted. Richard Curtis, after the audition, did everything in his power to stop me getting the part. And it was a very traumatic audition. I remember going, and for some reason it was at the Jim Henson studio, you know, where they make the Muppets. And we were actually in this great big studio, and so I was auditioning in front of director, producer, writer, and 50 full-size Muppets. And it was unsettling.
And what did you have? Did you have a video of your best man speech or...
That's right. Well, I thought I'd made rather a funny speech at my brother's wedding, so I thought I'll take that along and that'll charm them. But in fact, I think it slightly sickened them, because they were looking for someone kind of more middle of the road, and I think I looked really sort of hoity-toity, up my own arse, posh. So, but anyway, I got the part in the end. I think they couldn't find anyone else.
And that speech, did it upset your brother? Or did he find it funny?
Well, yeah, I got away with it. He said, my brother, poor chap, is prone to having big styes in his eye, and he got one on the day of his wedding, and he said, whatever happens, just don't make a joke about my stye. So I based the entire speech around it. I mean, what else yeah. You know, I hope that my brother will keep you in the style to which you're accustomed. I said, yeah, it was all that.
Poor brother. Yeah. But also, it's that weird thing, going auditioning for things, you know, you prepare, or you're right for it, or you're wrong for it, or everything. But, Luke, like, to audition for something like Dracula, there's not a lot you can do. I mean, I'm going, like...
Well, yeah.
What did you do?
Well, I did my meeting on Skype, the 21st century way of getting a job. And I've got fangs. I have natural, quite large,
actually, you really do.
Enhanced canines. Yeah, I'm looking at myself now.
Yeah.
No, they are quite large. And during the Skype meeting, I sort of kept leaning in and going, And you know, on that first day when I actually did meet them all, I was expecting to bring it up, you know, that, you know, we did notice your fangs, and they hadn't even noticed I had them. And then they noticed every day while we were shooting the movie and asked if I could keep taking them out, but they were actually mine. Yeah, weird that.
But they are...
They're massive, yeah.
I never noticed them before.
When I was 7, I had all the side ones taken out. I don't know why, but teeth grow till they touch. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So they didn't have anything to touch. They just kept growing. Yeah. Yeah. I could whistle in very strange places for about a year. I can't now. I've got the teeth have grown back.
Curses!
But I could. So, yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Now, we mentioned the two of you working together, you and Emma. Obviously, brother and sister in Love Actually, which I sort of... You forget that you're the brother and sister in that movie. And then lovers in Sense and Sensibility. Beautiful. Of course...
He was so grumpy all the time. So grumpy. He knew me, he'd known me for years. There was nothing there for him. He knew that I wasn't going to cough up. Actually, he couldn't have been less interested. I'm trying to make it look good. But in fact...
I did let you down on that. I was grumpy, fat, bad,
you were
and got arrested halfway through
well.
Yeah.
Well, you were so famous because you hadn't been famous. We'd done 2 films together where neither of us was famous, and then you were suddenly very famous because of 4 Weddings.
What were those other 2 films?
Impromptu, where you played Chopin in a terrible wig.
Yes.
And The Remains of the Day, where you got killed in the war.
Yes, very sad.
Very sad. Yeah.
And you mentioned decades, Cameron. I think it's this year, it's 30 years since you made your first movie, The Mask.
Oh.
I think that's right. Yeah.
There you go.
And because it's your first film, and it sounded, reading about you, it didn't sound like you were, you know, that mad keen to be an actor. At what stage during that movie did you kind of get, oh, actually, I can do this. I'm quite good at this.
You know, the director, Chuck Russell, who found me and said, like, you're my Tina. And I was like, okay. You know, I'm a model. I'm like, oh, you know I don't act. And he was like, trust me, this is gonna be your part. I know you can do it. He really walked me into it in the most kind and gentle and generous way.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a moment, though, in cinema? I just remember your entrance in The Mask.
Oh, my God.
And with the red dress.
Yeah.
And it pans up.
Oh, there you are.
I give all the credit to that. I remember Chuck Russell said to me, you know, we're standing on the street, we're in downtown Los Angeles, and he said, I'm sorry this is taking so long, but this has to be perfect.
Oh.
He goes, I see it in my mind. This is your introduction, and I have the shot, the perfect shot that I'm going to introduce you to the world with. And I'm sitting there like this, okay, whatever. You know, with my like heels and the standing on the street, like, hi guys, what's going on? And then he's like, okay, you know, and he's like, just walk towards the camera, you know, and they had it on a crane, and he did that, and I have him to thank for it.
But he was like, that is a superstar.
Yeah, and that was Chuck doing his thing for me. I mean, he's just and by the way, the nicest human being, and never like, you know, there's a lot of stories in the world where you get like that creepy director that tries to like take advantage of the situation because he's like, you're my man. Chuck was always a gentleman and really just a genuine person who gave me an opportunity because he saw something. And I'll always appreciate him and love him for that.
Yeah.
We will too.
Let's start. We must talk about the big film tonight, is Suffragette. And Suffragette is a terrific, terrific film. And it tells the story of the suffragette movement in the 1900s as they fought to get the vote for women. And I love it because it gets that balance so right between the historical, the political, and the personal. So the tale is sort of told through your journey, Kerry, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm a working class mother, and it's sort of set in Bethnal Green in 1912, and it's about the East End militant suffragettes, and I start the story kind of apathetic, kind of conventional, and pretty miserable, and I sort of get drawn into this movement.
Because you don't want to be a suffragette.
No, and I think, like a lot of women then, they felt it was not respectable and dangerous, and sort of wanted to avoid it. But she becomes inspired by these women that she meets, and the whole campaign is led by Emmeline Pankhurst, who Meryl plays.
Yes, because obviously you play the iconic Emmeline Pankhurst. And I wonder, is there any real footage of her, any newsreel footage of Emmeline Pankhurst?
Yeah, there is. There are 8 seconds of film of her. It's the only thing I found. That's about how long I am in the movie, too.
And Kerry, you had a part in Meryl getting in the film.
She got me the job.
I've seen this actress.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I signed on quite early, and we debated, not really debated, but we were trying to figure out, you know, who was going to play Emmeline Pankhurst, and I was on a walk with my mum, and she said, oh, well, you know, what if you got Meryl Streep? And I was like, oh, Mum, come on, bless you, we're never going to get Meryl Streep. And then I mentioned it to Sarah, and I said, you know, well, maybe we should just offer it, and, like, you know, what does it matter? You know, we may as well. And she said yes. And I was in the bath, and I got an email from Sarah Gavron, the director, saying, Meryl's in. And I dropped my phone. You know, it was sort of such a huge...
I was so honoured to be in it. I mean, it's really wonderful, and she is fantastic in it.
You really are. The scene where you address the suffragettes, in a way, there must have been something kind of real about that, because you've got all these actresses and extras, women in that crowd,
Oh, yeah.
who presumably do, you know, they're geeked, because it's like, Meryl Streep's going to come through that window in a minute. So did you get a buzz out of it?
Oh, I did, because we didn't rehearse it. And so they got the crowd together and everybody was there. All the actresses were lined up and I was nervous because, you know, this is my only
It made
thing
me
in
so
the movie.
happy that you were nervous. It was thrilling to me. I was like, no, that's nervous.
I was nervous. I kept forgetting my lines. But yeah, they were very forgiving and they were so excited. I mean, part of it is that this is all such really recent history, if you think about it. It's only 100 years ago. My grandmother had 3 little children before she was allowed to vote, and I remember her telling me how annoyed she was. Not that she couldn't vote for president, but that she couldn't vote for the school board. She really cared who was on the school board because it was how her children were going to be educated.
And because people do listen to you, Meryl, you know, they kind of go, oh, she's speaking. Do you think you might get involved in public office? Would you ever run for an elected
God,
post?
No, never. In fact, I'm just in awe of people who put their lives on the line like that, because especially now, the cost to your family, to the larger group that you love, it's almost, I mean, you just offer them on the altar.
But you make movies like this movie, which you really should go see, because it does, I mean, so many people do not know the history of what it took for women to get the right to vote, and still don't have the right to vote in very many countries. But that is like being in office, if you want to call it, in the sense of that's your contribution as actors and as storytellers, is we can put this out in the world.
Yes.
And
Similarly, your
fabulous.
play is the same, isn't it? I mean, it's
different, but
it's overdue recognition for a woman
scientist.
Yes.
So, but it's lovely to be in that position, to be able to do that and say, here it is, here's the work, go see it, digest it, talk about it, and keep things moving forward.
I do think we owe it to the world, to women who have no voice, to get behind projects like this that help.
Well, it's great, really terrific. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Reynolds brings us Deadpool. Yay! This must be great for you, because this has been a labour of love getting this made.
Yeah, it's been the best and worst relationship I've ever been in. It's 11 years. 11 years I've been trying to get this movie made, and you know, we had a script. We did that about 6 years ago. Then we did a little bit of test footage for this movie. That test footage sat on a shelf at Fox for 4 years, and then about 1.5 years ago, somebody accidentally leaked it on the internet. Was that you? Super crazy. Wow. Oh, no, I have nothing to do with that, I have nothing to do with that.
Very un-Canadian of you.
Yeah. My mom was like, what does this button do? Guess we're making the movie now. And it just went nuts. The people just started writing and flooding Fox with begging and pleading for the Deadpool movie to get made. And within 24 hours, we had a green light. We were making it.
It was that quick?
It was that quick. It was so undeniable, and it felt really good.
But also, you must be quite pissed off that, you know, you couldn't make that decision for yourselves?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. We tried, but the fans got it made. So there's a great story, too, that this is totally fan-driven in every way.
I guess people who don't know, they'll be thinking, why wouldn't the studio want to make this movie? It's a superhero movie. Everyone loves that. And it is a superhero movie, and it's got all those things. But it does also have this kind of indie movie sensibility and a kind of edginess.
Well, it's meta. I mean, the character knows he's in a comic book movie, but he works in the X-Men universe, so he's dealing with other X-Men. He's talking about other X-Men. He's making jokes about Ryan Reynolds. I mean, it's you know, and it's rated R, which is unusual for, you know, Marvel X-Men type movie. I think it's certificate 15 here in the UK.
Yeah, we can take it.
Yes, in China, and in China it's rated go yourself. Basically, they're not showing
Wash
it there.
their hands.
So it's sad. I wish they could show there, but so it's a pretty unorthodox film.
And also, what's great is to reflect like that poster, but also you've done other posters.
Oh man,
unorthodox.
The marketing of this movie has been so much fun.
Are you involved in these things?
Completely. We love it. We're like giddily texting and emailing each other in the middle of the night, like, what if we tried this?
The emoji poster. I love the emoji poster.
Yeah, that was pretty great. Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Yeah, it's Deadpool. But that just started as like a jokey text message between me and a couple other people, and then the Fox marketing guy said, we're gonna make that into a billboard. I said, you don't have the and make it. And there it is. Yeah.
And also, you haven't forgotten that it's opening Valentine's weekend.
It is. There's a big love story in the film, and then I mean the love story quickly turns into kicking revenge. But still, it's a love story.
And I like how it shocks me that you can, because on American TV you can't say stuff like that. So
no, you can't say it here either.
Oh, you can't.
I'll just be saying hi on the couch when it airs.
I'll just say Deadpool, and then I'll go on to Dad's Army. Yeah, and also, like, so you didn't just work on the things. You did the voiceovers for some of the trailers. You did.
I did.
The voiceover guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that stuff. I do it at home all the time. Drives my wife nuts. It's the, it's that voice. It's the in a world divided by fear, one man must stand alone. Will Smith, Ryan Reynolds, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Toby Jones, Ian, Graham Norton's pants rated R. That's my ringtone. That's my ringtone.
That was really good.
That's Don LaFontaine.
I know,
That's the best. Yeah, the trailer guy.
I want to see that movie.
Yeah.
It's great. Is it true the director based some of the fight moves and the kind of on Muhammad Ali?
Yeah, some of the big fight scenes are. Yeah. Sorry. The other Muhammad Ali right here. Yeah, some of it was based on Muhammad Ali. Just that idea that how he sort of got in people's heads. I mean, he was punching them in the brain as much as he was punching them in the face. So a lot of it is that sort of floating kind of thing where he's just it's a psychological warfare as well.
Because when you were preparing to play Muhammad Ali, so watching tapes, how many hours would you spend watching tapes?
What I used to do is there was a way that his arm moved, and Michael Mann, the director, wanted me to burn neural passages, right? So I would sit in a dark room for 20 minutes at a time, but for 2 or 3 hours a day, just in a dark room, and I would watch a loop of him doing the jab, doing the jab, doing the jab.
Wow.
Yeah, trying to burn neural passages. It didn't work. It was a bad idea from the beginning.
Damn great, something worked. Yeah.
Julie, the movie that I guess changed your life, Pretty Woman. We're all Americans now. But what I didn't understand was that movie, when you signed up, was a much darker project.
Yeah. Well, and I auditioned for this movie that was called $3,000, which was the amount of money that he paid her for their time together. And she was a drug addict, and it was not a healthy relationship. And the movie ended by him pulling down this side street in Los Angeles, and they have a fight, and he just says, "Get out," and he kind of throws her out of the car, throws the money on her, and drives away. The end. And so I got that part in that movie and felt really proud. And then the company that was making it folded, and the movie disappeared, and I was crushed. And the next thing I knew, they said, "Oh, Disney picked up this film." To which one says, "Oh, naturally." Right. And Gary Marshall's going to direct it. I was like, "Oh, of course. This makes perfect sense to me." And so I went in to meet Gary, and he told me all the ways he was going to change this and make it funny.
And am I right that they were still kind of writing it as you were filming?
Yes. We would maybe break for lunch at 10:15 in the morning because we were out of pages. And we would just kind of make it up.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. Gary would do things like this. You can attest to this.
Yes.
Be funny. Action.
Yeah. Try to make it like lively with some humor. Say a thing that will make her laugh.
Yeah.
And then you say a thing that will make him laugh. Do something.
Yeah. And somebody get me some tuna.
Yeah, I need tuna now.
And is it true, Julia, that you go to see your own films in movie theaters?
Not really. That sounds like I'm very interested in myself.
But you have been to the movie.
I have. Yes, I have. I have seen myself in movies.
Was it Mystic?
Very good.
Was it Mystic Pizza? Yeah, you are very good. Yeah. No one's going to disagree. You've got prizes. But did you go to see Mystic Pizza, or is Mystic Pizza out and you went to see a movie?
So when Mystic Pizza came out, Mystic Pizza, which was, look at us. Look at us. Look at the cheeks on me. That is a sign of youth. I went home to Smyrna, Georgia, where I'm from, to visit my mom, and we went to the movies at a movie theater that was across from the yogurt shop where I used to work at the mall. And we went to the movies, and after the movie, we went to the bathroom, as one does, and I hear this voice say, "Hey, girl in stall number 1, were you in Mystic Pizza?" And I said, "Yeah." "Will you sign this and this piece of paper and a pen?" And I said, I can't do that right now.
Well, did you sign "Much love, girl in stall"?
No, because Michael Fassbender, was it on Jane Eyre? You had a horse. No, you had a very badly behaved horse on Jane
Prince.
Eyre.
Yeah.
Prince was the horse.
Yeah, yeah.
So what would happen?
Well, he used to get quite aroused when, whenever I got in his back. So, yeah, he did, yeah.
I can understand that.
Yeah, so Dan, the horse handler, had to get on it and sort of, you know, canter him or give him a little trot, so he'd sort of slap off his seat, retract it back in, and then it was good to go.
Until you got on again, and
Until I got on again, and then...
Cut. Yeah, you can't have that in your lovely Jane Eyre film.
Yeah.
Jane. Was it the night you won your Oscar?
The night I won my... Oh, I don't want to talk about that night. I had a whole meltdown.
Okay.
That
sounds riveting. I
It
want
was
to
a
talk about
series
that.
of things. It was like a birth control confusion, so I was like hormonal. I fell on my face. I forgot to thank the director. So I was just like, what does it all mean? Nothing! I came home crying, and then my friend was like, ordered the wrong pizza. It wasn't thin crust, it was thick crust. I was just like...
I imagine very different scenes in the Redmayne household.
Slightly different.
Oh, really?
Well, basically, I have a plethora of brothers, and their sort of favourite thing is to sort of come... Well, I did this film a couple of years ago called Savage Grace with Julianne Moore.
Keep going quickly.
It's disastrous.
No, you left them at come.
Oh, God. And it's going to get worse. So I did this film a couple of years ago called Savage Grace, and it was one of the first jobs that I was so proud of. It was with Julianne Moore. It involved incest. I played her son, and she sleeps with him to sort of try and change her sexuality. Anyway, I was so pleased to have got a job. I'm so proud of it. And they came to the London Film Festival premiere, and it was only sort of as I was sitting down, surrounded by my family, with all my brothers sitting next to my dad, basically looking at him like this, as I was about to have to do a love scene with my mother in the film just to see what his reaction would be. And basically, that's always their thing. They just sort of sit next to... They see who can get closest to Dad in order to watch what his sort of perilous reaction is going to be.
Ooh. I had to kick my brother out from, like, award season for a little bit because he tried to arm wrestle Matthew McConaughey. He was, like, not into it. It was Winter's Bone. Nobody knew who I was, so so there was
He
that.
took down McConaughey.
And my mom, how is your mom during premieres?
She's pretty good, actually.
She's normal?
But only because I always say to her... I remember we had this amazing experience at the Tony Awards when she came as my date, and I was like, Mum, what happens at these things, I think, is they come up on cameras and they look at your face. So when I don't win, you've got to look... You know, you can't get, you know, really angry. And my mum, I love my mum. She is quite competitive. Anyway, this moment happened, and I was nominated for a prize, and then I was lucky enough to win, and I was so elated, but my mum I'd given such a grilling to that she just sort of sat there. I'm not allowed to react. I was like, Mum, I won!
That's so funny.
Because, Rachel, your son Henry has a kind of a similar... There's you, and then there's this other woman.
Yeah, he actually has never seen any of my films. He's completely delightfully
totally uninterested in seeing any of them, even though now he's 9 and he would be able to see, for instance, The Mummy, but he's just not interested. So he's never seen The Other Woman.
He's going to love The Lobster.
Go upstairs, gonna dig it. Yeah.
And Colin, you've got a son Henry as well.
I have a son Henry as well, yeah.
And now, was it Father's Day when... Who sent you the text? Because he can't have sent you the text.
He's not texting yet with his 6-year-old fingers. I'm sure some 6-year-olds are texting and rapidly. But he is tweeting. No, he's not tweeting. Basically, on Father's Day, they asked, the teachers asked the kids in his class, we're going to come around you all, and any of you who have fathers, that is, and ask you what you want to say to your dads, and then we'll transcribe it. And so they sent home a letter, which spontaneously I happen to have queued up on my phone. And because I was asked to read it, because it's just kind of gorgeous and ridiculous.
So he dictated this to the teacher?
Yeah. And it says...
And how old was he when he wrote this?
He was 4 when he said these words.
Okay.
And he said, my dad, he's a lot of fun, and I like him a lot. He has blonde hair... and he's very handsome and wears a good shirt, good pants and good shoes. Oh. We play and I watch a movie with him and my mommy is in it and I am in it in the sky, he says that. That's because I met his mother on a film. But yeah, but the bit about the blonde hair had me a little obviously concerned and I was going to reach out for a home kit paternity test. But can you imagine the teacher's reaction when he said that as well? But maybe so Alexander. No, because he still talks to me.
Okay.
Samuel, apparently you have recently lost your title as the highest grossing actor of all time.
Yeah. I've been displaced.
Bummer.
By?
Harrison Ford, again. I displaced him, he displaced me, but hey, it's only 70 mil. Yeah.
It's like a weekend.
I got him covered in July.
Yeah. It's a weekend.
Yeah. Weekend. He's lucky I'm not in Captain America 3 now.
Have you seen the new Star Wars?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Moving on.
It would have been better with you in it. Yeah, that's really, yeah. That's the bottom line.
Or more popular, anyway.
It couldn't be more popular.
Yes, it could.
I haven't seen it, and I would have watched it if you were in
Oh,
it.
see? Right there, yeah. But you do watch all your films, is this right?
Yes, I do.
Like more than
religiously. I do. I watch them at home. I go to the theater. I know when I have a movie that's opening, I know it's going to make at least $1,000 that weekend because I buy $1,000 worth of tickets. And I give them to the church or I give them to somebody and their kids go. But I go in the movie after the movie's been open for a moment, you know, to see what normal people are saying or doing while they're watching the film, to see how they react to it. When you go to a premiere, I mean, everybody's there to kiss you. Come on. Yeah. They're gonna love the movie. Oh my God, you were amazing. You know. And you go with some regular people and they go out of the movie. This movie sucked. Yeah, but that Sam Jackson was. He's always. You know, so yeah, I go. I like it. And if I'm sitting at home, yeah. And if I'm channel surfing, there's nothing else on. I go into the search engine and go Samuel L. Jackson. Boom. I'll watch it.
So talk us through the tale that you're involved, because there's 3 tales.
Yes, my tale is about motherhood, and I am a queen. I was so excited because the closest I got to be a queen was to be the queen of the drug cartel in Savages. And when you're Mexican, you know, it's kind of hard to get that role. And who is very sad because she cannot have children. And she's willing to do anything in order to conceive a child.
So
very tough
You
stuff.
want me to continue?
Well, you tell us a bit about because we can know how she got with child, can't we?
Yes, one of the parts of the ritual, the things we had to do was we had to kill a sea dragon, and then I had to eat the heart of this dragon that had to be cooked by a virgin, which was really difficult to find even in those days. And by eating this heart of the dragon, I was gonna conceive the baby, which is not as fun as the normal way, but she was desperate at the weekend, and it was disgusting.
But that all happens in about the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And we've got a still of you eating the heart. Now, what was that? Because it looked because it's still.
It was disgusting. You know, I still don't know, because when you ask the Italian, they asked me, "What are you allergic to?" And I told them, and then when it was the time, I said, "What's in it?" And they said, "You're not allergic to it." I said, "Okay." But what's in it? And they said, "Many different things." And I said, "Yeah, but what things?" "Things that you're not allergic to." And that's it. But I kept, every bite I would find different textures and things and flavors, and at some point I was convinced. I was eating a worm, and I said, "You must tell me, what is this?" "That's spaghetti." So the artery of one of the arteries inside of there was spaghetti. But anyway, I don't want to repeat that recipe. I will never cook it for anyone.
Last time we were on, of course, we were talking about P.L. Travers, another great writer, in Saving Mr. Banks. And since then, I've read interviews with other people who were in that film, and they were saying that things got quite adult on set. Do you know what I'm talking about? The guys who played...
I can't imagine that ever happening.
The guys who played the Sherman Brothers.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Well, it was just one day. We'd had a bit of a time, and there's a lot of crying, actually. And so they were a bit depressed. So I went away and took my bra off and put 2 Mickey Mouse stickers on my nipples. And then I came back out and I showed them.
I like to think that's the moment.
Yeah, they're appalled. They're completely, and pitying. That's what says that.
But wasn't it that she thought you were going to be Miss Method and serious?
Yeah, she thought I was really methody. I'm not.
Are you really not?
Yeah, no, I'm just pretending. Yeah, it's all pretending. That's all right, yeah. Nothing real happens.
So do real methody people then get annoyed with you because...
Sometimes they do, because of how much I talk. Because I like to talk between takes about what I had for lunch and what I'm going to do this weekend, and these shoes that I bought, and do you like the shoes that I bought? Should I take the shoes back? Or what do you think? Or do you want to have lunch? Or should we have lunch later? Or do you want a snack? All the way up to action. And every once in a while someone will say, like, "Please be quiet for 1 minute."
And don't you sing a lot?
Yes, yeah. I do.
It does sound quite annoying.
It is. So,
what sort of songs do you sing?
Like peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time.
It's getting more annoying.
What's the weird thing at home that your kids don't believe you when you laugh?
Oh, my daughter says I have a fake laugh. I think I'm just trying to be, you know, when your kids say something, you're like, "Oh, honey, yeah." And she's like,
yeah. If I was a kid, I'd be going, "No, this isn't working."
That's fake. Honey, that's completely fake, Mom. So I'm like, "No, I laugh like that."